Hello, hello, hello out there. How's it going? How's it going? I said I might not be on tonight, but well, you know what? I'm here. So let's play some Borderlands. All right, let's just get to it. Oh, there is no transition. That's fine. That's fine. No transition. It's fine. It's fine. It's not very seamless, but you know. Oh wait, I'm not even on tomorrow, am I? Oops. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. I was on Zane there for a minute. There we go. There we go. We should be able to finish this game tonight. Or in a reasonable amount of time. I don't really have all that much stuff left to do. Get through Necrodefeo. Go kill Tyrene. Get to level 72. I don't know what we'll do after that. I mean, I can kind of go through and try to show how to get to level 72 as fast as possible if you're looking to run this solo. I've done it a bunch of times. It's just, you know, you take your licks in the slaughter shaft and, yeah, get to 72. Yay. All right, what are we doing? Go to Tannis's lab. Oh, did I do that? I thought I did that. Nope, let's stop there. Ooh. Backpack. Always check your backpack. See, like that. No, I don't want that. Don't need an infinity. Don't need that. Okay, what's this? The Rocketeer don't need that. All right, let's go sell this stuff, and then hey, Apollo, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How's your early morning going? Because it's not technically evening, I guess, for you. Yeah, how's it going? I'm good. All right. Hopefully my mic is working. Hopefully you can hear me, Apollo. I did a little test. You know, I'm paranoid still. So I do a bunch of tests, and I change things. I test again, and I change things. I test again, and then eventually I just give up testing and go, you know what? It's probably good enough. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. A little tired today, but that's okay. These things happen. I didn't put the workout in today, but I did get my dishes done. You know, like I said, I was going to do my dishes. I had to get my dishes done, so the dishes are done. It's just I was a little pooped because yesterday I did a really long workout, so my body was like, It's like, nope, not today. So I skipped it, but I'll do my yoga workout tomorrow and get through that painfully. But yeah, anything you working on? I'm just about ready to beat Tyrene. Or, well, get to Tyrene, then beat Tyrene, and then, you know, get Amara to 72.
Yo, Lilith! The Vault Hunter's back! Vault Hunter, did you bring me that lock of Typhon's hair? Right, yes. Inappropriate timing, end of the universe and all. Just put it in my lap.
Nice! Awesome!
Good job getting that key, killer.
Hey, that's the first step, man.
So she can charge it.
The first step is just kind of doing it. You know, the only thing Yoda and I don't really agree on.
Ava!
Do or do not, there is no try. Well, here's the problem with that. If you never try, you never do. Therefore, you always do not. So,
Oh, gross.
yeah. So, try so that eventually you may do. So, yeah.
It works.
Yeah, that's good.
Vault Hunter, all yours.
Yeah, 30-minute break, back at it. Heck, man. That'll do.
So, how
Look,
do we know
anything
this gonna do what it's supposed to?
is not nothing.
Blow up the whole universe.
So regardless of how long you do a workout, how much burn you get, just doing something is not nothing.
Irene leeches it, she may finally become a so-called god. And again,
And yeah, that's good.
God, but the most
That's
powerful
good.
being in the universe.
You got up, you did it,
We are all obliterated.
you made it through. You're going to be sore. But like I tell anybody, 6 weeks. You got to give yourself 6 weeks. Your body, well, I don't know. You're much younger than my body. Maybe it's just old bodies. Maybe you could do it in 2 weeks. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to end up breaking down a whole lot of muscles that you haven't used in a long time. And you're going to need to rest them and get them rested properly to then get back into the next time you do that workout so you can hit it harder or hit it hard. So you have to take breaks. And early on when you're working out, you're really going to need to take breaks. Like me, like today. Getting back into it myself. I'm only at about, am I about week 8? Or my body doesn't hate me, but it still gets real tired. So I kind of have to, you know, rejuvenate the body, if you will, through rest, food, you know, fuel, things of that nature. Putting good fuel into your body is always helpful. But we can't all be perfect like that, you know. All right, Desolation's Edge. Necrotafeo. Did I want to go there? Shoot. Should have probably looked where my waypoint was. But you have to look at... this is how I never really understood exercising as a young person. Because I was in sports, whatever. You know, you run around, you do things, you're a kid, you know. I wasn't a professional athlete, so it's not like I was playing one sport year round. It's like, oh, football season, let's play football. Basketball season, let's play basketball. Track season, let's run track. Whatever. And you stayed in shape for whatever you were doing, right? But what I found out is exercising, and if you can find the right routine, if you find the right routine, you're kind of set for life, because you will always be able to go back to that routine and kind of redo that routine as your base setting. What I had to do this time, because I took so long off, because, you know, life happens, I had to get in shape to get in shape. And I'm still getting in shape to get in shape. My hour-long workouts are taking me 2 hours, which means I'm not in shape to do them. Once I can get them down to an hour, that means I'm actually in shape to do the work. And then I can start adding weight, adding reps, adding intensity, moving it up. But I've got to get my muscles and body back into shape to get in shape. But for a young body like yours, you should be able to get that, like, you should bounce back like a rubber band, man. It's going to take you a little bit. It's going to hurt. You're going to be sore. You just got to stretch. Got to get your fluids. Got to get your fuel. But yeah, man, that's great. That's awesome. You're already bettering yourself. Today or whenever you worked out was the first step in bettering yourself. Like, you don't have to, you know, be all jacked up and ripped up and whatever. It's like, that's not it. Can you like, if you were asked to, like, I kind of look at it this way. If somebody's like, hey man, I need help moving. Well, could you go over and help them move? Physically, not just like stand around and go, yeah, dude, good. You move that box over there. I'll just kind of stand here and do nothing. Instead, you get in there and you help. You grab boxes. They're going to be heavy. They're going to be like 40 pounds, 50 pounds. They're going to be awkward. You're going to have to help move awkwardly. So you need a lot of stabilizing muscles. Just a basic thing. Everybody has to move at some point, and everybody typically helps someone else move at some point. So the idea is you don't have to be in jacked up shape. You can just be in shape to help somebody move. And that's great, because if you're not in shape to help somebody move and you try, you're going to feel like garbage. But if you are in shape, you get to help somebody move, and then afterwards, hey man, well, depending on your age, you go out and grab a couple of beers. If you're a little younger, of course, we'll grab a couple of Cokes or something. But you know, you have time. But if you're out of shape and you help somebody move, you're going to be done for like 2 days. Trust me, I've done that. And I was out for like 2 days. Like, why? Why was it so much work? So find a routine that gets you into shape, that strengthens, stabilizer muscles are very important. Like anything that helps you balance, like balance things like that. Because if you're doing anything balance-wise, You're using more than just one muscle. You're using a lot of muscles. Your core is very important, you know. And then strength. Look, strength grows over time. You're young. You're still growing. You're probably going to gain more strength. So don't worry about the strength. That comes. I was a very skinny lad, and I did not have a lot of just raw strength. But I could work. And I could do work. I just couldn't lift a whole lot of weight. Like, if you asked me to lift, like, here, bench press 100 and whatever pounds. Like, nope, can't do it. But you want me to do like 30 pull-ups? I'll do like 30 pull-ups. I went to the wrong one, didn't I? Hold on. Sure did. So no, it's great. It's actually very great. It is your first step in, you know, I don't know, being mature. Exercising and keeping on a routine, that's, you know, that's maturity. And then dedicating yourself to it and saying, you know what, I would do this other thing, but I got to work out. And once I work out, then I'll do this other thing. But until I work out, I can't do this other thing. And make sure to give yourself room for, like, rest. If you just need the rest, take the rest. You can get back to it the next day. There are no rules. The only rule is try not to hurt yourself, and, you know, hopefully, yeah, try not to hurt yourself. Rest when you need to, and fuel up. And results take time. So, like, for me, for me to see results, it's going to take me at least 6 months of working out 4 times a week, at least.
We got a universe to save.
And I'm not talking about, like, I went for a walk or, you know, I went for a jog. It's like, no. I threw weights. I did plyo. I did power yoga. Like, yeah. It's, yeah. Yeah. But stick with it and enjoy what it does for you. Hopefully you can find that thing that working out does for you. Whether it's cathartically releasing some stress into some weights, because, yeah, you can't be yelling at people. But you know what? Can you do a whole lot of push-ups and just go at it and get your, you know, any emotions out that you need to? Yeah, why not? Sometimes you got to get it out. And there's no, you can't get in trouble for, well, I would say throwing weight, but lifting weights very rigorously. The only trouble you can get into is if you do it a little too rigorously and you hurt yourself. So don't do that. But you can get intense when the intensity calls for it.
Oh, you're too kind.
No, seriously.
Fascinating. Perhaps sirens had some hand in constructing this machine.
You know what? You remind me of Leda.
Catch me, Vault Hunter. I swoon. If only I had a decade to study this machine. Its design is mind-gasmingly complex, but I do believe its primary operation to be fairly straightforward. To start, I require the Pandora Vault Key. Interesting. Now it seems we must offer the remaining keys to the Guardian statues. Then the machine will draw power from the vaults on those planets, closing Pandora. To the other statues, Vault Hunter. Quickly now.
This way. Next up, Promethea.
I always like doing this board. This board's always really
I
fun.
never told my daughter about this place, but stay sharp. If I know the Iridians, there's sure to be some Guardians around.
Let's go, Typhon.
Guardians! Let's take them out together!
Yeah, look. It seems, from a young perspective, it seems like I want to put this in kind of a perspective of like, as a kid, everything seems like a big deal, and that like you're supposed to either have things or get things or whatever, because that's what everybody else has got, and don't I have to get what they have? My advice to any young person is you will be better off for a potential partner, let's say, if you have to be able to become mature. So like if there's a lady out there in the future lady, right? Who you don't know now, because the world's a very big place and there's a lot of people in it, and just because you're around these people doesn't mean you'll be around them tomorrow. I've lost track of most of the people I went to school with, or I knew when I was, well, your age. But you want to be prepared, you know, kind of like getting someone asking you to help them move. Well, you kind of want to be prepared in case a lady is like, hey, what's your deal? And you got to play it cool, hotshot. You can't be acting a fool. They don't want that. No, girls really don't want that. They don't like real ladies, like mature ladies, which is what I'm assuming you're gonna want to try to find someday in your future, is someone who's, well, mature. Well, to get a mature lady, guess what you have to be? You also have to be mature, responsible, figure your stuff out. Don't be egotistical or narcissistic or I'm the greatest thing next to sliced cheese. It's like, nope, nobody is. Nobody is. Nobody is. There might be a couple of nominees, people who are better than a slice of cheese, but depending if you're lactose intolerant, of course, you can't eat cheese, so pick something else. Slice of bread, I guess. Well, you could be gluten intolerant, so there it goes. Bread goes out the window. Let's say, yeah. But be mature. Be responsible. Prove that you're not a turd. I like to use that word these days because there's so many words being thrown around that people use that kind of make me go, I don't think you guys are really using that word right. Or is that really how we want to describe this? No. Just don't be a turd. It's pretty simple. First, you got to know the kind of behavior that, you know, how turds behave. Well, I think we all kind of know. There are plenty of examples out there. Don't be that. Because it may seem like the cool guys are the ones to get all the ladies. But I'll also warn you, if they're that type of guy, then they're the type of women they're getting are not the type of woman you're probably going to want to be with. Trust me on that. If they're worried more about superficiality, then you don't need them. You don't have to be a loner, but you don't have to, you know. I mean, I say that because it's okay. It's okay to be alone and not be a loner. I mean, that's kind of where I am. I'm not really a loner. I'm not a lone wolf. I'm just a dude, man. And I just, you know, sometimes it's okay to be alone. because that's just how life is. Sometimes you're just alone. And then sometimes you get an opportunity and you grab a hold of that opportunity and you make that opportunity the best you can make it when you get that chance. But you have to be ready for it. When that opportunity rose for me, I was ready for it. And then 20 years happens together. And that's something. It's more than most get. And I appreciated every second I was with her. Awesome. The OPQ rules. Oh, it didn't lift me in time. Boo. So try not. I'm not going to say do not because, humans are humans. We're going to worry about things. But try not to worry so much about what a woman wants because you'll never know. You'll never know. So the only thing you can do is be better at being you. Be smarter, be kinder, be more gentle, be more, I don't know, be better. And, if somebody else is acting a fool, and girls are going, haha, doesn't mean you should act like a fool just to get them to go, haha. If that's not you. A lot of people try to be something they're not. If acting a fool ain't you, then don't act a fool. This is coming from somebody who, used to act like a fool. Whoa. Typhon, help me out, bro. Oh, I need to put on an elemental weapon. What am I doing? That's why I'm not getting any health back. Also, don't be in a rush to be a grown-up either. It takes time to be a grown-up. You can't just decide I'm a grown-up now. It's like, nah, that's not how it works. I wish it was. Yeah. I would say stay away from, well, look. I wish I could tell you, yeah, don't worry about that. That'll just happen. When it happens, it happens. There's nothing that you can't will it to occur. It just has to happen. That's how it happened for me. I wasn't expecting it when it came along, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, then let's do this. And then I, worked. Well, I tried to work really hard to make it work. And we made it work for a long, long time. But like those things I said, like those things that will, well, even if you aren't mature, as long as you're trying to be mature, that's greatly appreciated. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to make yourself just it's like fake it till you make it, because look, I'm the living embodiment of Peter Pan syndrome. I get it. I am a kid at heart. I love video games, love sports. But like, I don't always act like a child. Like, I do in those moments where it's appropriate. So like video games. I love video games, so I'm gonna play video games with the joy of a kid, because I've always found joy in video games. But as long as you're trying to be more mature and never look for a pat on the back. Oh my God. So many dudes want a pat on the back for doing the bare minimum. So, example, bare minimum, making your bed. If you make your bed every day, That's a sign of maturity because you're getting up, you're putting everything, getting everything straight, ready to go. Boom, done, moving on. What that does is it starts good habits. And that's what you're trying to create at this age, is you're trying to create good habits. Brush and floss your teeth, man. That's a good habit to have. Make your bed in the morning or whenever you get up. Good habit to have.
Stay sharp.
And yes, it's kind of tiresome. And yes, it's like, oh, do I have to? But yeah, kind of. You kind of have to.
This way. Come on.
And then, but don't expect anyone to even see it, let alone comment on, oh, you make your bed? And it's metaphorically speaking. There's a lot of different things that make people mature that, you know, we're like, hey, look at this. Didn't I do good? And it's like, yeah, you did good. But you're gonna have to accept that other people aren't gonna tell you that or see it. You have to look for it and see it yourself. It's like, did I do the best I could in the situation I was given? Did I try my hardest? Did I? And then you get to answer those questions on a daily basis. It's like, yeah, well, maybe I could have done this. Maybe I could have done that. All right, tomorrow I'll think about that. The next time this comes up, I'll definitely do this thing that's more of a mature decision than, you know, some other decision you made. But yeah, what I would say is don't chase girls. Right now, focus on you and focus on your future, because they also will want someone who has a vision of where their life is going to go. Do you have a plan? Trust me, women like that. And then stick to that plan. But don't pick a plan because you think it'll impress girls. They don't care about that crap. If you're into dorky stuff, be into dorky stuff. I love Borderlands. What do you mean to tell you? But I don't let it be the only thing I'm about. Because everybody's got their thing they're into. And look, you got to kind of figure out kind of a person that you want to be around. And that's the other thing. You have to... God, there's so much that goes into a relationship before you can even start dating someone. Like, really start dating someone. Like, you got to know what their basic philosophy in life is. How do they see the world? Do they see the world in the same way that you do? Because, I mean... you got to know what you're willing to overlook to be with someone. And the fewer things you have to overlook, the easier it becomes to be with someone. But like... Oh, break time. Nice. I don't know if you're walking away. I'm just going to keep going. So if their favorite game is, I don't know, what's a bad game? I don't even know what a bad game is. Chat. What game? I don't know. I don't know if I didn't. What is that over there? What are you doing? That's bizarre. Whoa. What is that? What just happened? Whoa. Weird. All right. But if you are fundamentally... Oh, there we go. If you're fundamentally different to the person on a particular... like, in a specific philosophical way, that's going to be the hardest part of the relationship. Let's see. Who's... Oh, that's the thing. Here's a simple one. Let's say the person you're with is totally into Robert Pattinson.
We gotta hurry.
But maybe you can't stand Robert Pattinson. I don't know why. He just rubs you the wrong way. Whatever. I mean, if we're going off the record, I don't mind Robert Pattinson. I think he's all right. He does a good job in what he's in. He was just in Mickey 17, and that was pretty good. Or he did a good job in that. In the movie, we'll see. I mean, it falls apart. But he did a good job. Anyway, I digress. But if she's really into Robert Pattinson and you're not, and she starts watching all Robert Pattinson movies, well, guess what you got to do? Well, you're going to have to sit through Robert Pattinson movies. And is that a compromise that you're willing to make to be with somebody? And metaphorically, obviously, they go to things that are much deeper and what have you. But just an example of a greater problem that could, you know, come up later. So compatibility is very important. And I don't mean, what's your sign? Oh my God, I'm a Pisces. I am not a Pisces. Compatibility has nothing to do with when you were born. Compatibility comes down to basically how you were raised or who you want to be. Because some people were raised one way and ended up a different way. I might be one of those folks. Like, it's kind of like me in this situation. If I were to ever try again, they'd have to understand that video games are a very important part of my life. And that playing video games with my siblings, and now, of course, on stream, well, they'd have to understand that. And if that's an impasse that they can't get past, well, you got to be like, okay, I mean, everything else works, but you're not willing to compromise on this one thing, then maybe it's just not going to work out. And that's okay, because people are people.
Waves against the rocks.
It would be nice if there was such a thing as true love, but there isn't. And that's okay. I think we learn to appreciate one another inside of a relationship. And that appreciation grows to what normal people would refer to as true love. But it's just love. I mean, whatever. True. I mean, what is that? What does true love even mean? False love? Well, we know what that is. But true love, nah. Find somebody who's kind and sweet and overlooks like 90% of your faults. Because, man, we as dudes, we got a lot of them, and society doesn't help us fix any of them. We're getting better, though, I will admit. Plenty of places to go talk to somebody when you need to talk to somebody. But we lost the, we lost the bartender. The bartender was the budget shrink. The guy behind the bar that just listened. I mean, a guy. It doesn't have to be a guy. It could be a girl. It could be a woman too. Anyone. The bartender listens to your stories of woe while drinking. And those drinks get you to open up to speak to, things that are bothering you. Yeah. Know thyself. Know thyself. It is very important to know what you're about, because without knowing yourself, you don't know what you need at any given time. Sometimes you just need somebody to chat with, hang out with, bro down with, chill out with, play a game with, And that kind of takes care of it. Although we have levels of complexity, sometimes we're really simple creatures. Some kids, like me, I'll tell you why football was very smart for me to be involved in, even though I was kind of skinny.
I've got something for that.
Because there's a bit of some aggression in me that needed to get worked out. And when you strap on pads and run into other people at full speed, I mean, you can get it out of yourself. You can cathartically get it out of yourself pretty easily. So that's why I'm not an advocate against sports for sure. Because there's just some kids that don't know how to express themselves other than physically. They can't speak to it because they're not confident enough in speaking to it, or they don't have the right words to say what they need to say. But when you can physically exert yourself and get it out, I mean, that helps too. I know after I work out, I don't want to think about anything. I'm just like, I'm tired and hungry and need a shower. So it's good. It stops your brain, if you're like mine, that works way too much and way too fast, and you think about too many things on a given basis. But after I get done working out, my brain goes, duh, hungry, duh, shower, duh, sleep. And that's good. That's good. It makes it's for me, it stops my brain. And I'm like, yay, freedom. Because what people don't understand is we oppress ourselves more than other people oppress us. We oppress ourselves with intrusive thoughts, with, oh, I don't want that. Oh, that's not, nope, left stick. There we go. Oh, that's all I have. Oh, all right. No, that's fine.
Return to me, fair Typhon. Vault Hunter, you may come too. Lilith, you might want to come down and
So yeah, take your mental health very, that's what I wanted to do. Take your mental health very seriously. And again, it's another in a line of like mature things to do. When you feel upset, do not talk to your significant other. That's not their job. Their job is to be with you, not be your shrink. You know, one of the failures of my lifetime. I needed a sounding board. I needed to just bro down. I needed to just shout it out of my system sometimes. And, well, when you don't have people around you that you can kind of shout to and they're like, yeah, man, that sucks. You know, you kind of shout it at the person nearest to you. And, well, they kind of get tired of that too. And I understand. It's understandable. Nobody wants to hear all your problems all the time, every day. So, you know. Is that still on me? There is nobody there. That is a glitch. Typhon, what are you doing? I didn't say go. Blammo. Okay, there must have been a dude up here that died because his laser is still on me. It's rude, bro. I don't come into your house and put my laser on you. Well, technically this is your house and I would have shot you, so yeah, okay, never mind. I'm good. Then we're good. But yeah, my point about knowing thyself. Know what you need, what you don't need. And you're not going to know this about yourself. You're still young. You're still learning. And you'll continually learn throughout your entire life, finding new things about yourself that you didn't know. It's like, oh, this upsets me. I'm not really sure why it upsets me. I could probably break it down analytically. But this whatever action, thing I'm watching, thing I'm seeing, thing I'm doing, it upsets me. So I need to figure out why it upsets me, or just know that it does upset you and you can avoid it in the future. Avoidance, look, there are times to be confrontational and there's a time to avoid. Sometimes you just gotta avoid that thing that's gonna set you off. So I have an issue with large crowds. terrifying.
You know what to do.
I'm just not a large crowd person.
End of the road.
I come from a small town with not a lot of people.
Troy and I were kids. We
Big
used to
crowds
ride
just
bikes
have
on
always freaked me out.
stars. Brightest in the galaxy, Troy.
Seems like it's like chaos. It's like chaos incarnate. That many people around each other, all in that close of proximity to one another.
We'd open the vault of
Look, there's this show I watch that I find very amusing, and
Irene,
on that show they have
won't end the way
well,
you think
I
it
guess you'd consider them
They
sketches.
seem so small now, our dreams. Not befitting a god.
But in one such sketch,
Devour every last star in the
in one such sketch, there was this
one. Until
there was
nothing's
this
done.
guy, and he wanted to tell you about his rules for personal space. Rule number 1, stay out of my personal space. Rule number 2, keep out of my personal space. Rule number 3, get out of my personal space. Well, I was like, I'm a kindred spirit to that character. That one-time character in Rick and Morty. Come here. No, stop it.
Fully energized.
Hey, what are you doing? Aw.
Almost done.
So yeah, you got a lot of time. Right now is the time for you to like
Hang on, Ava.
learn stuff. Learn what your philosophy is. Learn what. Oh yeah. Well, one day if I ever have a camera up in here, you'll get to see my one of my prized possessions. It's a Pickle Rick statue thing. It dances and makes noise. It's hilarious. I saw it at Target years ago, and I was like, I will buy that now. And it is mine.
Haven't we done this before, Lil? I'm over it.
Hiya, Starlight.
Let me go!
Ah, I let you go once, and see how that turned out?
You scared old man! This is your fault! You kept us here when the universe should have been ours!
I gave you what I could.
I don't care! I'm gonna take what's mine! Ah!
I'm sorry, Starlight.
Oh no. Danny DeVito. What did D. Reynolds do to you? Oh yeah, and if I do this long enough, you will hear several references to several
You gotta stop
shows,
her.
movies, etc.
It's too late for me.
Being, I was more
Just
obsessed
promise
with
me
movies and
Don't.
than I was ever obsessed with video games, and I'm pretty obsessed with video games, let me tell you.
Won't. He's gone.
Now, newer movies, on the other hand, anything post 2010. Oh boy, how do I say this?
Typhon bought us our lives, but we're running out of last chances.
You ever put too much Kool-Aid or too much water in a Kool-Aid mix and not enough sugar? Like, it becomes so diluted, and you're like, that tastes like yellow or green or purple or orange or whatever. But that's about it. Otherwise, it's just colored water. And after the ever expanding digital
Seems I can add time and space to the
on-demand libraries that we have available to us,
It's time.
and the desire for more and more content,
I've never run from a
we
fight,
ended
Commander.
up diluting
This ends on Pandora, one
the
way or the other.
quality
Head through the
of
portal
almost
and find Tyrene.
everything I
On the
watch
other
now.
side.
There's wasted time and effort. There's definitely wasted money. Characters aren't developed well. Dialogue is flat. Plots are kind of obvious. But did you just bring up Spider-Man? Did you just bring up Spider-Man? All right, listen. My spirit animal is Peter Parker, not Spider-Man, and I'll tell you why. Peter Parker, much like Superman, is always Spider-Man. Tarantino does a diatribe about Superman at the end of Kill Bill Part 2. Very good, very good. And I'm basically kind of semi-stealing part of that. Because when Superman is Clark Kent, he's still actually Superman. Clark Kent is his representation of what he thinks humans are like. Weak, nerdy, Whereas Peter Parker, and then Superman does good because he was raised by, not aliens, but he was raised by a family in Kansas. Good-natured, down-to-earth people. They're going to talk about that in the new movie that's coming out with from James Gunn. But Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is always Spider-Man as well. But he doesn't get the glory of Superman. Because Clark Kent's essentially a grown-up. And everybody loves Superman. But Spider-Man, well, Pete has to be kind of dorky Pete to keep up the ruse. Because the whole point of Spider-Man is that anybody could be under that mask. That's the whole point. It's the whole point of being a superhero and wearing a mask. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's you.
I wonder who will play
Well, bad guys
the
beware, because you don't know who it
Is
actually
that
is.
all right to say?
But Pete had it rough. Pete was young when he got his powers. Pete could have used those powers easily for evil. Because when you give someone power, you find out who they really are. Well, Pete was given power. Because Pete wasn't born with power. So Superman has a one-up on Spider-Man because Superman was born Superman. But Peter Parker had to understand that although he had great power, which, comes great responsibility, well, he couldn't be the bad guy. He had to be the good guy. He couldn't, like, for everything that the world, like, you have power. You can abuse that all you want. You can treat people poorly. You can save people, not save people. You can save people based upon whether or not you like them or not. But Pete doesn't discriminate. If somebody's in trouble, well, he goes and helps. He puts on the suit. He becomes a Spider-Man. And yeah, I am my favorite Spider-Man. My favorite, not my favorite. I mean, how can I put this? My first Spider-Man introduction to Spider-Man came from two places. A show that I believe was on PBS called The Electric Company. I mean, obviously I knew Spider-Man comics, but we didn't. Back in the early '80s, the comics weren't everywhere. They weren't really everywhere. We just kind of knew of them. But on The Electric Company, they had a segment, and Spider-Man would show up. And every day, I would wait for Spider-Man to show up. I would watch the whole episode, waiting for Spider-Man to show up. It's very like you have Sesame Street, then you had Electric Company, and you had Mr. Rogers. They were all kind of meant for kids, like kids. So that was The Electric Company. But my Spider-Man shows up and has amazing friends. So my Spider-Man is from the old 80s cartoon, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And I like that about Peter Parker. The fact that, yeah, he's Spider-Man. Yeah, and he has some really cool friends that help him, you know, defeat bad guys. It's a great metaphor. You can't do everything alone. You can't. You can't do everything alone. You can do a lot of things alone, but you can't do everything alone. Saving the universe, saving Brooklyn, saving Manhattan, saving New York, saving the world. You know, you might need some friends for that. So I always looked at Peter Parker as a kid making the hardest choice to make. Not be selfish. To be selfless. Even though he didn't have to. And look, man, if we could all be a little bit more like Peter Parker, I think we'd all be better off.
We're counting on you, Killer. The Destroyer is ripping the planet apart. You have
But
to
yeah,
stop
no, I
fighting.
thoroughly enjoy what they've done with the
Pandora's
Spider-Man
always been a hellhole.
franchises.
It's our hellhole, damn it.
They've mostly stayed true to who Peter Parker is.
Far too close to Pandora.
Kind.
The Great Vault will continue to open.
Courteous.
Let's worry about that
Gentle.
when Tyreen is dead. One apocalypse at a time.
Doing the best he can, you know, as much as he can, because, you know, he only makes money by taking pictures of Spider-Man. And the guy he hands those pictures to hates Spider-Man. That's fun. It's like, oh, my boss hates who I am. But he's willing to accept it. Accept the responsibility. Oh, hey, wait. Do I need a new... I think I need a new... We'll just stick with Transformer. It's just Tyreen. We'll get through Tyreen here in a minute. We'll go get that later. But yeah, no, man, I really liked Spider-Man. I really liked the... what's it called? The newest live action one. Let's say live action because... One day we'll talk about Spider-Man Into the Multiverse and Multiverse of whatever. Because those movies are great. But yeah, that's newest one where they all come back. Like Tobey Maguire is there and Andrew Garfield is there, and I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I mean, it's silly, but it's fun, and I'm okay with it. They brought back Willem Dafoe. He definitely did not turn into Willem Dafoe.
Finally.
Don't expect mercy, superfan. I'm not that kind of god.
And it's trying to teach a lesson about, well, I want to say forgiveness maybe, but like, can someone who's done wrong, are they capable of reformation? I don't know. Maybe. Optimistically, yeah.
This is it, Killer. Show her that gods can bleed.
But I don't know. No, Tyreen.
She's down. Now's her chance. There. That's your opening. Give her hell.
Tyreen, what are you doing? Just fly away.
Heads up! Vault Hunter, climb.
Let's see. I don't need to climb. I should be able to shoot it from here.
There. That's your opening. Give her hell.
Wait, you're done with what? Playing? Gaming?
She's down. Climb on her back.
Oh, Tyrene. Oh, come on. There we
There.
go.
That's your opening. Give her hell.
Goodbye, Tyrene. And that is a deathless run on Borderlands 3. Yay! I mean, I know I'm cheating. I got my Guardian ranks up and everything. I'm still using that, but you know, I didn't die. That's pretty cool. Nice! Good for you! Good for you! Put that time in. That effort will pay off. Yeah, just stick with it, man. Just stick with it. Let's see what we get. Did we get anything good? Probably not. Nope, just junk, junk, junk. She didn't drop a queen's call or a king's call. Come on, Tyrene.
You did it, killer. She's gone.
And now it's low-level slaughter chef time to get Amara to 72.
Go on. Vault's all yours.
Loot time. Yeah, take your time. Be patient. There's no rush. Rushing into a workout or a workout routine too fast can potentially get you injured. So take your time. Recognize what your body's telling you and don't overdo it. Man, you don't want to get an injury. Oh, it'll set you back. It'll set you back. Trust me. Wait, is that it? Hmm. All right, let's end this. Let's go, Lilith.
Hunter, you did it! Tyrene's dead! For real this time. She's not gonna come back, is she?
Well, she died and turned to ash, so I'm gonna give it a hard maybe.
You got your powers back. Feels good, right?
I spent so long without them, I'd almost gotten used to it. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good. It's over.
Not entirely. Great Vault is still opening. Elpis is tearing Pandora apart.
How do we stop it?
Very simple. We can't. Not unless you know a way to remove the moon from the sky.
Run towards the fire. Sanctuary's yours, Ava. Be ready.
What does Lilith think she's doing?
Closing the Great Vault. She's saving Pandora.
That could kill her!
She knows. She's the fire